Hey, you're on the Carol Butler show, and I promised the next time that I did my show, I would help you either save a dog or a person in a hot car. But as you also know, I always share something fun. And I've run into something called Poem Portraits by Artificial Intelligence. It's a collaboration between a woman and Google. And I want to show you, I chose the word. Well, let me first show you what happens when you go there. You'll get this little notification that says an algorithm has collected 20 million words from the 19th century and fed it into a computer. And all they want you to do is put in one word, and they'll write a 4-line poem for you. And it's artificial intelligence writing this. I thought it was so cool. I chose, don't ask me why, I've chosen more than one word, but this last one that I'm going to show you is the word terrestrial. And this is what the poem came out to be. You can have the words go across your face too, and I have enough coming out of my mouth right now. I don't need words all over my face, but you can have a portrait done. It's all free with the words, and y'all can look that up. In fact, at the bottom, you'll see where to go, the HTTP, right beneath me. And I'll also try and put that in show notes. But I used the word terrestrial, and this is what it wrote. Terrestrial restings were the children that bam with many a stone and green. And I thought, that's me. I'm a terrestrial. I am tromping toward my wildlife stand, and the resting are the stones and the grass and the trees, and the children might be the birds and me, the raccoons, and, Buzz Aldrin, the vulture. That bam they run into many a stone and green, and there's a lot of moss out there, and there are a lot of rocks, believe me. It's amazing that so many times a limb or a rock has kept me from falling on ice, or when it's raining or whatever, when I'm taking food out to the wildlife stand. So you might want to go to Poem Portraits and do this. But the reason you're tuned in today, so I just want to jump right in. I'm not a time waster, and show you a video I put together last year. I've updated it a little bit. And in the show notes, once this is posted, you'll be able to download a flyer that I hope you make. You have my permission. It has my name on it. And if you want to blacken that out, I don't care. I didn't do this for me. I did it for the animals. And if you want to put it on someone's parked car, there's so many things you can do. But let me step by step start this video and show you what to do. Everyone always said, but I didn't know what to do. I heard this dog was none of my business, or I can't just open their car. Well, yeah, you can. And you can do many other things. But let me get started with the video I made because it's shorter than me talking at you. Hey, this is Carol Butler, and I'm coming to you today with a special request and also with an interesting gift. Every single summer, when it gets this hot, I end up, I don't care where it is, Walmart, Food Lion, finding an animal or an old person, that means older than me, of course, or children left in the car. And the returning person always says, I was just gone a minute. And everyone sees me intervening as they shake and cry and get upset and frown. And by the way, Walmart doesn't make announcements to say, hey, will the person in the green truck with their dog tap dancing in the back of their metal truck where the temperature is 120 degrees and they're burning their feet, would you please go get your dog out of the truck and into air-conditioned comfort? And my thought is, don't go shopping with your animal unless you've got 2 sets of keys and another person. There's no need to ever do that in the summer, probably not in the winter. It's just not a good idea to leave anybody, man, woman, child, cat, dog, in the car. But now I've come up with what I think is a really good idea. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have a PDF available, and it will be posted here to show you the 8 things to do, and they're very easy. If and when, I hope you never see it, but if you do, no one ever seems to know what's the first thing you do. You don't know how long the dog or the person, the child, has been in a hot car. It could be 1 minute, it could be 30. I have never, ever recorded someone less than 20 minutes when I stood there waiting for the police or deciding whether I needed to get the dog out or break a window, and I timed them with my phone. I also have used another method to which I want to share in a PDF. So if you want to know, gee golly, what are the steps that are legal to do? What am I willing to do? And instead of feeling helpless and being angry, and I've had men come thank me, just shaking. I didn't know what to do. I heard the dog screaming, and I said, let me tell you what to do. And I've talked to the sheriff in my county, and I will confirm and verify everything that I tell you in this PDF is legitimate for you to do. Don't travel with your dog, first of all, when you know you're going shopping, unless you've got 2 sets of keys. And even then, what if the dog flips the car out of gear, being excited? Take another person with you, and one of you stay in the car. That's a no-brainer. Don't go shopping with a dog. Don't leave the dog in the car. If you want to walk or ride the dog, take on a separate trip. I do with my dog. He rides in air-conditioned comfort. We pull over. He is so nice and neat. He always goes in the woods, and I always have plastic bags to pick up my dog's poop. But that's not what this is about. I've designed this just for you to put on, not only to learn, but please make copies. You have my permission. Make copies and leave on someone's windshield after you follow the steps. And not only will you probably save a life, you'll keep these people from ever doing it again. So this has been Carol Butler. Thank you for listening. Download the PDF and do yourself a favor and save an animal, because you will come across a person, a child, or an animal left in a hot car, and the windows being down mean nothing. So I have a lot to share with you, and it's free. And the other thing that I want to share with you is something I cannot remember since they invented this, is a tool that looks like this. It's got Velcro on this particular one. They look different with everyone, but this point, when you break a window, if you think someone's going to die, you break the window. If the door's not locked, please try and open the door first. And if it's been in your judgment, somebody is dying, no one is going to get in trouble with, you are not going to get in trouble for saving a life, because that's animal abuse, people abuse. It's abuse to leave an animal or person in a hot car. But this little pointy thing, this end, you tap it near wherever the locks are on a car, because that's the most vulnerable place to break a window. And by the way, I have not ever had to break a window. I've either intervened by opening the door because the door was locked, or if a dog was in the back of a truck, I've either poured a gallon of water. And yes, I drive around with stuff like that, a leash. I always have my phone in my pocket. And I always videotape the car, but first I always call 911. But one of these, I got this never really thinking I'd want to have one of these. If you'll notice, there's a razor blade and there's a tip, something very sharp here, but there's a razor blade to cut your seatbelt. Let's say, I always thought if I were in a wreck and got pinned in, it's going to maybe cramp my seatbelt. And how do you get out? And the car is going to catch on fire, and I'm not going to burn alive if this is within reach. This would cut the seatbelt. This would break the window. And everyone should have one on the passenger side and in the back. And we just should have every door should have one of these. But I always thought I'd use it if I went underwater in a wreck. Someone pushed me in the water in my car, or someone rear-ended me and crammed me and I got stuck in my car. But now this is the tool that I feel very comfortable with knowing how to use. And I'm just telling you, the tip near the lock and the way the glass is, it doesn't just break and fly out at you, but you need to be careful. You don't want to try and open a window that's not right where the dog or the person is. I mean, you don't have to open the window right where the dog or the child or the elderly person is. Try and break another window just enough to get the door open. And I carry a leash, I do carry a bowl, water, and I always have my cell phone. So this is what, so I just think everyone should get one of these. Try an auto store. This is what you can download, and show notes will have a click on it, and it will also enable you, when you get this download, to make copies, to pass it out to your favorite retailers, or just for you to know. Step one, call 911. Step two, they're very simple steps. But you don't know if the animal, that person has been there 1 minute, 30 minutes, an hour. You don't know. So the sheriff always said call 911 first. So I'll give you the download link for that, and it will also let you know when my next show will be on. So you'll be subscribing to just finding out. I won't automatically appear. It'll just tell you the topic and that my show will be coming back on, and I'm getting back in the groove. So please download this. It'll take this a minute to upload on the web, so and on social media. So underneath you'll find the poem portraits. So you can go there, but I'm telling you, just type in Google poem portraits. But this download, as I showed on the screen, will be there for you to touch and just get this flyer and keep it with you. And anyway, thank you for watching the Carol Butler Show. I look forward to you joining me again. I always will try and keep it short and interesting and helpful. And it's going to be very hot where I am. I'm not out west right now where they're having 123 degrees. It's a nightmare. But see, it doesn't take that much to kill somebody or to make them brain dead. I mean, it can happen in 10 minutes. So thank you for watching the Carol Butler Show, and I hope you'll return.